Hey, I am nervous getting ready for my second back surgery and having more thoughts about it. For context, it is a week away, which is really weird to say. It's exciting. God. So time is ephemeral. I've gotta just contextualize. Like, it's almost like right now it is nearing the end of October. And when all of this started, it was late April, early May, the very first twinges of it, anyway. Um, and it's almost like I had my birthday in April, and that May started up, and ever since then, time has just been weird that I can't quite track it. I think part of it has to do with sleep deprivation, not being able to sleep more than um, like, well, I mean, it's like when this first started, I was able to sleep through the night with assistance, and then that shrunk to sleeping half a night at a time, and then that was shaved down to 4 hours at a time. And like, without any medication, now I'm at like an hour and a half. With gabapentin, I am at probably around 4 hours. So I'll go to bed at 10 and wake up at 2. Um, I'll bite down on something and work through the pain and then fall asleep, hopefully for another 4, or however long. But yeah, sleeping in doesn't happen because I want to, and then I can't because it hurts too much. It's like the muscle spasms in my leg from not like I don't sit or lay down unless I absolutely have to because they both hurt. So I think my muscles are just used to working way more and not resting enough. That my muscles want to rest physically, and I can't really give them that very easily. So I think that there's a combination of muscle spasms happening because of tense muscles guarding and also compensating and overworking. And then there's also like the weird muscle spasmy shit that happens from nerve disruption, along with all of the sensation stuff that accompanies that, and then the shooting awful pain too. Um, yeah, it's anyway. I am nervous for my surgery. I know I am nervous. I don't usually admit that I am, even though that's the name of this fucking channel. I feel like this is like me talking to myself, working out the nervousness I actually do feel, honestly. But one of the ways I know that I'm nervous, because I'm a person who tends to push away such, at least awareness of such things, I tend to break mugs. I've broken one this last week. I don't break things. I'm not clumsy, and I love collecting like handmade ceramics. I'm a fucking hipster like that. And like, yeah, I broke one of my favorites this last week on accident. It was sad. Um, Part of what I wanted to talk about is just the fact that my surgery is happening. It is scheduled. I've gone through pre-screening. I've had my blood checked. I've had imaging done. I have it lined up. I have plane tickets to go to the city I'm going to. I have a place to stay. I'm getting my meal prep done. I've got plans. Like, everything's planned. And now in the vacuum of that, like, it's like I've been spending so much time over these last months chasing something, chasing being able to calm down my leg for a moment, or chasing that appointment or whatever. I'm not chasing anything anymore. I'm in a dead zone, and it's causing me to reflect a lot because I'm actually able to reflect. There's nothing left to chase. I'm able to, at least psychologically, release a little bit. And I think I just have I have a growing awareness of how my coping mechanisms have evolved, where they're evolving to, and how unsustainable that is. Especially since my pharmacy didn't fill the gabapentin prescription for me, and I had like basically 4 days without it. I'm on a pretty high dosage of gabapentin. I am taking 900 milligrams in the morning, 900 in the afternoon, and 900 at night. So that is 2,700 gabapentins, or is it 20? Yeah, it's 2,700 gabapentins every day. And that's not the upper limit, but it's getting up there. And without that medication, like my ability to sleep goes down to maybe an hour or an hour and a half. It's terrible. It's awful. And like the things I did this last week when I ran out of gabapentin, like these are things I said I would never, like combinations of things that former me said in the past I'd never do. I never was interested in smoking anything, but smoking marijuana is one of the only things that relieves my pain. It takes the edge off. I do that. I do that daily. I'm building up a tolerance for it. I have a schedule around it. Um, I told myself in the past, and I didn't in the past drink if I was upset, or there was even a time where I didn't drink if I was alone. And then I lived by myself during a pandemic, and well, I mean, that's basically never able to drink. That's sad. So that changed. But yeah, I drank so much over those 4 days because I could not find relief. I did everything and nothing worked. And I found myself waking up and screaming into my pillow while biting down on a bit gag. Like at I think it was 3 or 3:30 a.m. and I fucking snapped. Nothing was helping, and I had tried everything, and I'm supposed to have a job, and I'm supposed to do work, and I'm supposed to live an adult life, and even and I had tried everything. And it's just like no one can help me. No one's here, and nothing's working, and I've drunk too much already, and the weed isn't doing it, and the painkillers sure aren't. And then I remember that I had oxycodone from my last appointment, and that's another thing I said I'd never do. I'd never just take one. I'm so scared / paranoid of getting addicted to opiates. After my last surgery, I was only on them for 3 days. I had like a hard cutoff. I was like, I'd rather be in pain than risk. But I was in so much pain that night. I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. I went to my cupboard and I looked at the prescription, and I took the prescribed amount. I have no pride left, I don't think. I am a person who's been reduced in a lot of fucking ways. I do my best every single day, but my coping mechanisms I'm capable of on my own are fundamentally destructive. Alcohol is not good for my liver. Weed is not good for my lungs, inhaling it the way I'm inhaling it. And using opiates is absolutely out of the question bad. I've only done it the one time so far. I don't want to do it more. And I have gabapentin again, and things have been a lot easier. I'm so grateful for that fucking drug. Didn't do shit until I upped the dosage, and I didn't ask, I just did it, and I figured it out that way, by the way. If you're in the same boat and you're going crazy. Of course, I only tried that because the doctor more or less said the upper threshold of this drug is pretty high, and I'm only giving you 300. So it was sort of like an implied wink, like, by the way, we can go higher. And so I didn't wait, I just did it, and then I told him, and he's like, great, and he updated my prescription. Anyway, I'm grateful I have gabapentin, but like in the days, especially the 4 days I didn't have it, I think I kind of saw what I am without a significant amount of drugs in my, like, medical prescribed drugs in my system. Like, I'm in a bad place. Like, and what I have for myself is alcohol, mostly. I've gone through so much of it. I've never drunk this much in my life. And it does help. Like, my leg will be sending me so many signals. I'm overstimulated and I can't think. I'm supposed to get my work done and I can't think. And if I don't have a job, I don't have health care. Like, this is a fucking hard problem. And I'm just like, principles be damned, I need something. Dull my senses. So I dull my senses. and then I get my work done. And I haven't like thrown up or anything. I haven't like blacked out. It's not like I've gone that far. I'm just building up tolerances and associations that I don't want to. So I'm glad I'm getting the surgery because like that's one way, that's one lens of looking at this. And I don't know if this logic helps anybody else who's thinking about surgery or who's looking at it, but I don't have anything else. I have tried everything else. Uh, I've tried the conservative methods medically, and I have done a lot of work personally. My life is very finely calibrated around moving and interacting in the world in a way that helps me float along, but I'm not getting better. Like, you could see me as kind of like a hang glider. I'm not really going up. I'm not capable of that. And I think that's what I'm having to admit to myself is I can slow the rate of my decline using a lot of, using the methods I've already described, but also like getting up and walking first thing, forcing myself to, and working through the pain, and also doing so in a way that I have refined such that I figured out what deals damage to my body, and I do my best not to avoid those things first thing in the morning. That makes a huge difference. I think there's multiple ways of looking at surgery. Surgery reminds me of going over a waterfall, and I honestly am going to be watching my old videos now, but like former me has the same fucking analogy, and like great, love that for us. Feels like it feels like I'm floating along in a river that I can't control. I'm hearing the roar of waterfall, and I don't know what's on the other side. I've had the surgery before on L5-S1, and I could tell myself, yeah, I've done this before. I know it's going to be fine. I don't. This is a different joint, and this is a different surgery, and any number of things can happen. The same surgeon, any number of things could still happen. And the condition of my nerve, or the condition of too many variables. It would be a kind of comfort to say I know that I can do it because I've done it before, but I think it's more accurate to say that I know I can do it because I've done a lot of hard things, and I'm going to hope for good things, but at the very least, I hope on the other side of this surgery, I'm given enough room and enough tools to use to make my life livable and enjoyable, that I'm not looking for weed and my next drink. I hope I don't have to wake up in pain every night, because that's been nearly every night for like 5 months. And I don't know how many miles I've walked, I gotta say, but starting in June, when I figured out that whole walking thing and I figured out my route that I do, I walk 3 to 4 miles every day, sometimes 5. So I don't know. That's a math amount. Like June, July, August, September, October, that's 5 months. Solid. Not missing a day, because I don't have a choice to miss any days. I can't, physically. It's 30 days in every month. There's some months I have 31. I don't give a fuck. Can you see how bad I am at math? Why am I doing this on camera? Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's 5 months times 30. That's 100. That's 150. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. 150 times 3 or 4. 3.5 would probably be the best. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I've walked a lot. I've done my best, and I've tried so hard. And I'm done. I feel bad about giving up, but that's the only choice I have left. I guess by giving up, I mean giving up the idea that I can just walk my way out of this. I did the same thing last time with yoga. tell yourselves that if you only do this enough or do that enough, you'll get out of this mess. Or that perhaps you're in this mess to begin with because you did X, Y, or Z, or didn't do X, Y, or Z. And I honestly think that most of that is shit. I actually don't think that, I mean, there are people who have acute injuries, but someone like me, I just woke up one day with this. Have I done sports in my life? Yeah. But I've also done a lot of computer stuff, not sports. I mean, we want to tell ourselves we're in charge of our lives and that we can control so much. It gives us a false sense of comfort so that if something happens, we feel like we can get out of it. And this is honestly, it's looking at my own powerlessness and how little I actually can do. Honestly, all I can do is my best, and what that means is every day try and find something to smile about and find ways of connecting. And there's going to be a lot of resistance and shit that gets in the way of that. I have to fight to get it. I could focus on all the things that hurt. I could focus on all the things I don't have. I could focus on the limitations I have. But I would rather note them rather than focus on them. It's absolutely natural to notice them. But what I really want is I really just want to live. Because I'm a person who's been reduced to a fraction of a person. I exist fractionally. I sleep fractionally through the night. I am a fraction of my normal level of productivity at work and my normal level of thought and what I'm able to do. I program for a living. This is something that is vital to my profession. I am fractionally available physically. I can't cuddle with my cat the way I normally would. I can't. I can't cuddle with my partners. I can't. There's so many things I say I can't do. There's so many ways I've modified. I want to focus what's still left. Because if I focus on what I've lost or what I've had to put away or what I've had to postpone, I'm just robbing myself of the bits I have left. I'm a greedy bastard. I want the good things as much as I can grab them. So it's a meditation trick, but to note the bad things or to note the things that are bad or upsetting, note that they're there. Let them pass by like a cloud in the sky. Don't deny it. It's right there. I'm biting my finger. I really hope I'm able to get out of this and heal a bit. And I mean heal in my brain. Like, I hope the healing physically goes well, of course. But this stuff deals psych damage. It's traumatizing to have so much of me cut away. And I do my best with the pieces I have left. But there is a kind of terror behind all of this, the powerlessness of it. I feel like I still have lessons to learn. There's still lessons I need to learn about how to live with it. Because what I'm talking about is just our constant reality, actually. We are as powerless. We are far more powerless than we think we are. And I think there's something about facing that with more grace and acceptance that would help me. I hate that I have to more than other people, but it is, I think, the reality of us all. And I think this is what people who have experienced profound loss really have to face over and over again. And I've had to face a lot of loss before in other ways. Yeah, I want to get better at that. I want to get better at looking at the fact that someone is going to carve my body open. And I don't know what's going to happen. And I have to be okay with that. I'm doing my best. But I get nervous. And I deny that I'm nervous, and then I break mugs. And then I make 20-minute videos about how I'm doing just fine. Doing just fine. And I think this is legitimately me in a complex place. A very low place. A scared place. A hopeful place. And a pragmatic place. Perhaps a slightly existential place. Anyway, I don't know if I have any more thoughts. I mostly just wanted to express where I'm at. It's a very complicated space. And it's certainly not a headspace I've been in for most of this. This is all very much in the gap, in between chasing something and waiting for something to happen. I know it's gonna, though. I'm very lucky and very happy about the fact that I'm getting help. Help that isn't shaped like a bottle or a puff puff stick, as I call them. All right, that's so long.